I'm Scott Weichel. You are listening to My Kind of Country here on Fish Creek Radio, and we want to mention that all of our guests will receive a gift bag from our sponsor, Fred Kelly Guitar Picks. And today, this lady comes from a very musical family, and she released her debut album, Music from the Honky Tonks, back in 2002. From that point forward, she has produced a fantastic catalog of real traditional country music, and I would like to welcome Amber Digby to My Kind of Country. Amber, how are you today?
I'm great, Scott. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Well, it's a pleasure. We certainly enjoy your music and play it often, and as well as so many of the Heart of Texas recording artists. They're just a great label.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you playing my music. Anywhere we can get traditional country played, that's
You know it.
good for artists like me.
You know it. Well, that's what we're all about, and I want to thank Justin Trevino for helping to get this set up, too. He's such a great guy.
Definitely. He's like a brother to me, and he told me all about you and his interview you did with him recently, and was more than happy to do this. And anytime I find out a DJ is playing our music, that I'm happy to do an interview or liners, whatever. It's it's hard to find DJs that'll play our music, so it makes us feel good.
Well, I think there's more and more of us that are starting to play this kind of music, and I've always been a traditional country fan, and it's just a delight for me to do this show and play the kind of music that I grew up on and that I love,
Oh, great. Well, kudos to you for doing it. We really appreciate you.
Absolutely. And right away, folks, I want to mention Amber Digby's music is available at her website, amberdigby.com. And she has a Facebook page, Amber Digby and Midnight Flyer, so you can go on there and like her page and follow all of her tour dates and wonderful stuff going on. And of course, her music's available at iTunes and Amazon. And hillbillyhits.com is the official website for Heart of Texas Records, too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's first talk about you. Certainly come from a musical background. Your folks and your stepdad were musicians and singers. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. My parents, my aunts, uncles, came to Nashville in the early '60s, late '50s, early '60s, and kind of as songwriters, musicians, singers. And that's actually how my biological father and mother met, was through Charlie Louvin and my Aunt Diane McCall, who was working for Charlie Louvin at the time, and so was my dad Dennis. And my mom, she was there in Nashville, had moved down from Ohio, and it's just, everybody was working for somebody back then, Farron and Connie and Ray Price, and you name it. So my parents got together through country music, and later on, my stepdad and my mom got together through country music, because my stepdad worked for country artists. He had known my mom and my dad both for years through the music industry. So I kind of grew up there was music in my household, and just going to shows and hee-haw tapings and Opry shows, and that was just my normal,
Wow. You got to experience it firsthand. It's no wonder that you're doing the kind of music that you do. That's great.
Yeah.
And, of course, your stepdad is the great Dickey Overby, who passed away recently, and what a talent. Just one of the best steel players to ever come down the pipeline.
Oh, yeah, and very, I believe, just underrated, because he really was, he was a session player as well as a road musician, and a lot of people don't realize that it's not every day that a musician is both, because that alone shows how talented they are, because usually session players didn't want to work the road and didn't have to, and usually road guys, couldn't really beat out, to get the session spots, you know what I mean? Because there were session players for that, and Dickey was one of those few, rare musicians that had the luxury of being on artists' records as well as on the road, and he also was a songwriter too. I mean, just an incredible songwriter. Wrote stuff for George Jones and Farron Young and Hank Jr. I mean, he was really a rare talent, and I definitely, not just because I'm his stepdaughter, but I really think, other than the music community, who's very aware of him, but he wasn't as publicly known as some of the more famous players,
Oh, certainly. But that certainly does not make him less important, because
right.
You look at the to me, musicians and songwriters are the backbone of any artist, and I think any artist worth their salt will tell you that right away.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
I always pay attention to those little, parentheses down below the song to see who wrote the song and who played on the song, and that makes all the difference in the world. And while we're talking about steel players, I noticed on your latest album, The World You're Living In, you have Lloyd Green playing on there with you.
I do. He's one of my favorites, and just so professional. And he was on so many sessions of just huge records over the decades.
Absolutely.
And and remembers every single one. It just to talk to him, I was like, wow. I said, because I know so many guys. I mean, and I'm this way, that I forget what I've done, because I sing on other people's records, and I'll go, oh yeah, I forgot I sang on that, and I feel bad, But Lloyd Green's like, oh yeah, I remember this, and I remember that, and I'm going, oh my gosh, you remember every single session, like.
That's pretty cool.
But it's amazing.
We have a lot of steel guitar players that listen to our show, and I can tell you the two songs that anybody can relate to, and they'll know Lloyd Green right away, and that is Freddie Hart's Easy Lovin',
yeah,
and Gene Watson, Farewell Party.
Yes.
That's him.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, while we're talking about band members, tell me about your wonderful band, Midnight Flyer.
Oh my gosh. These guys are, to me, the A-team players in Texas. I'm so lucky, and I'm blessed to have these guys playing with me on the road. And my husband is Randy Lindley, who plays guitar and also plays rhythm guitar. He produces with me and with Justin too. He, helps put the band together, and it's amazing. We've got Nathan Fleming on the steel, which he is a huge Dickey Overby fan, and I've never heard anybody that can really. He really can, if he wants to, he really can sound like him. It's really amazing. I've never heard anybody be able to do it, honestly. But he also sounds like himself too. He's just super talented, and the more people hear him, the more I've got other musicians and artists coming up to me going, "Where'd you find him?" and that makes me feel good, because I'm like, we've got something good with Nathan, and then I've got Jeff Croy on the drums, and he loves the music, and the music is important to him just like it is to us. And he used to play for Jake Hooker. He was in the Jake Hooker and the Outsiders group for years,
nice.
And so he played alongside Dickey for a long time when Dickey was working with Jake Hooker. And I've got T. Jared Bonta on the piano, and T is the closest thing to Peg Robbins I've ever heard. He's so talented and amazing, and he can sing good. He's just really cool. And our bass player, Ben Collis, he's just an amazing country bass player, and he can play anything. I mean, he can play funk, rock, but he's got a touch for country music on electric bass like no one else. No one else has the groove that he's got. I love him. He's a great bass player. And we've got Dave Biller on lead guitar. He's amazingly talented guitar player, and I've known him for a long time, and they're all like brothers to me. And when we've got on a lot of gigs. We use John Schattenberg on the fiddle, and Schattenberg has played. He's been in the music business for years. He's played with Johnny Bush and Barbara Fairchild and Farron Young, you name it. And so I can't go wrong with the group of guys I've got, and they're like brothers to me, besides my husband, obviously.
Outstanding, outstanding. Well, that is definitely showcased. You have a fantastic CD and a DVD out called Live at Swiss Alp Hall. That is just phenomenal, man. It's and it really, I always appreciate when I hear an artist live and they sound like they do on their records.
Oh, great! Thank you. That makes me feel good because that's what I strive to to do is to not let people down. So.
Well, that's good. Yeah. Well, I think you're doing a great job at it. You've got a lot of fans out there, and we get a lot of requests for your songs, and I'm happy to play them. I've loved your music long before I did this show, and man, it's I'll be honest with you. The first time I heard you, I've been a Justin Trevino fan for many years, and I picked up the duet album, the Keeping Up Appearances album, and I was just blown away. And not only by the the blend that you guys have together, but the song selection. The first song I listened to was just between the two of us, the old Merle Haggard, Bonnie Owens song, and you guys nailed that. And what a great album!
Thank you.
I bet that was a lot of fun to record, right?
It was. It was so easy because we've known each other for so long now. I mean, we're like I said, we're like brother and sister. So, half the time we're cracking up and laughing at different things ourselves, mostly. I mean, just recording records. It's work, but it can be fun, which is nice. It can be fun, and it's always a joy to work with Justin. And that record was easy to make because we like singing together and we know each other so well. It wasn't difficult. So, and I'm happy to say we're working on another one, a follow-up duet album, and we're actually writing some of the songs ourselves,
awesome.
That's going to be real special.
Oh yeah, awesome. Well,
yeah.
I'll make sure to keep us posted on that. I can't wait to hear that one.
Yeah, you bet.
That's great. Well, you are doing some touring too. I had a friend of mine came over here from England a few weeks ago, and he's a big country music fan. And he handed me a magazine from the UK with your picture on the cover. You are very popular over there. You're doing some touring over there, I understand too, right?
I am. I'm going to be in Scotland in April. And actually it's a Northern Nashville Caithness festival that's a country music festival, and it's Northern Scotland, and we played it before. I think it was 2010, and I'm happy that they wanted us back, and this time Justin is with us, and we're gonna have a big time. It's gonna be lots of fun, and my whole band is with me, and I love Scotland, so I'm excited to get to go back. And that magazine, Country Music People, Duncan Warwick and those guys at Country Music People are really good to me. They've been really supportive, and I appreciate that.
Oh, that's wonderful. We have a lot of listeners from Scotland, so heads up, you guys, check out Amber's website and get those dates and go see it, because I guarantee you it'll be a fabulous, real country music show, without a doubt.
Thank you.
Well, I wanted just to ask a couple questions about your latest album, The World You're Living In. Man, some great, great songs on there. Tell me about the duet with Vince Gill.
That was just, I met Vince several years ago, and ever since we wrote together and became friends, he became a mentor to me, and he said, I asked him, I said, would you ever sing with me? And he's like, of course. He's like, whatever you want me to do, whatever. And I thought, wow, really? Like, oh my gosh, I can say, hey, you want to sing with me? And Vince Gill's going to go, yeah. So that's kind of how that happened. I said, I want you to sing a duet with me, and I'm just going to pick out an old, some obscure duet if I can find one, and we wound up doing a song. I picked out a shuffle because I know Vince loves to do shuffles.
Yeah.
So but it ended up being my husband actually played the song for me. It was a Loretta and Conway song that I had never heard, but I played it for my dad. You know, my dad used to work for Loretta, and he remembered it. He said, "Oh my gosh, I forgot all about that song," and I played it for Vince, and he's like, "Definitely, yeah, let's do that." And that's kind of how that happened. It was just, you know, just fun for him and fun for me, and it's pretty awesome to sing with Vince Gill. I never dreamed when I was 9 years old and Pocket Full of Gold was on the radio that I would get to sing with that guy one day. You know, it's just crazy.
That's awesome. That song is called "The One I Can't Live Without." Beautiful song.
Thank you.
And then you and Randy did one together, an old George and Tammy song, right? "We Loved It Away."
We did. I'm so proud of the way that turned out, too. That's my favorite cut on that record. I just think it turned out so good, and that's a real special song for us. And we've recorded, you know, together before, but that's my favorite that we've done so far. I just love that song, and I love singing it with him on stage, too. It's a really fun one to do because it's just so different, you know.
It's wonderful that you guys can do that together. What a great thing.
Yeah, it's awesome. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Well, that's Amber's latest album, "The World You're Living In," and we'll be keeping an eye out for a new duet album with Justin Trevino. Any plans for a solo album?
Yes, we're actually in the middle of working on and finishing up a solo record, but it's actually a tribute album to the Osborne Brothers. So it's a bluegrass album. But
nice.
If you're familiar with the Osborne Brothers, it's a great mixture of country and bluegrass because they were bluegrass, but they used steel guitar and piano and electric guitar and drums on their records. And my dad worked for the Osbournes and was on a number of their sessions and the Fastest Grass Alive album in the 70s. So, and they're my favorite group, bluegrass group. And we just decided that it was fitting to do a tribute record because no one has done it yet for them. And so that's what we've been working on. And I've got some guest singers on there and guest pickers on the record. And Vince is going to be on that one with me as well. Great. So it's going to be a great record. I'm going to have Rhonda Vincent and Carl Jackson, and so I'm excited about it, and it'll be out soon.
Carl Jackson is wonderful. I just played a song on my show. It's the old Louvin Brothers song, "Must You Throw Dirt in My Face," and it's Merle Haggard singing it, and he is singing the harmony part on it, and just phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. I love that record. I blew my mind. He's so talented. Such a neat guy, too.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to look forward to that, too. The Osborne Brothers are great. I actually got to see them on the Grand Ole Opry many years ago. I went, and it was a matinee show, and I got to see Roy Acuff and Minnie Pearl. And,
that's cool.
And then the Osborne Brothers were there, too. That was just phenomenal. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Awesome. Good stuff coming up. Well, we really appreciate you taking the time to be on the show today, and we're going to keep playing your music, and be sure to let us know when you have some new stuff out there. We'd love to have you on again and spin some more tunes for you.
I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for your support.
All right. I'm going to have you hang on a second. I'll get an address, and we're going to send you a gift bag from our sponsor, Fred Kelly Guitar Picks here in Michigan. And
thanks.
Want to thank you again for being on My Kind of Country. AmberDigby.com. Go visit the page and pick up. She's got quite a catalog of albums out there, folks, and every single one of them are traditional country music, and you're going to love them all. Thanks again, Amber. We appreciate you being on My Kind of Country.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it.